जस्ट लास्ट टाइम आई वाज जंपिंग अ लॉट ना, तो ऊपर वाले ने देखा ये बंदा बहुत उचक रहा है, इसको जमीन पे लाना जरूरी है. देन ही सेड कि अरे तो सबको बोल रहा है यू आर गॉड, आई एम गॉड, तो मेरे को कंपटीशन दे रहा है. तो उसने दिखा दिया बेटा बाप बाप होता है. So let's start with meditation today. So we'll do this meditation, heal your relationships. So I want you to think of one relationship that you want to work upon, that you want to heal, and when I tell you to visualize, see how would you like it to be, not how it is, right? So any one relationship. So again, we'll start with brain coherence, heart coherence, and the third step, when I tell you to visualize, then it will be all guided. Then you visualize about that person or the whatever relationship you want to work upon, right? So let's begin. Let's start. I want you all to take a comfortable position. Clasp your hands, cross your legs, and gently close your eyes. Please make sure your phones are on silent. Take a comfortable position, sit up straight, clasp your hands, cross your legs, and gently close your eyes. Today, our intention is to heal our relationships. It is nice to have this opportunity to revisit our relationships. And as we reconcile our relationships, we also heal our relationship with our own self and become the benefit of that healing. There is no subject of greater significance to you than your relationships, for without others, you could not be you. The process of this meditation is simple and is a great way to move from your old self to a new self. The first stage of the meditation is brain coherence, which helps you to make your mind empty, lose your identity, drop any resistance, and raise your vibrations. Then we move to the second stage, heart coherence. Here you open your heart, connect to your inner being, transcend your feelings, and generate enough momentum so that beneficial behaviors can be inspired. By now, you are ready to be ready to be ready. Then you move to the third stage, where you connect to the relationship you want to heal. Here, I'll be guiding you with many affirmations. Then you move to a final stage, where you express your sincere gratitude for this healing journey. So I welcome you, dear friends, to participate in this powerful healing process. I hope it benefits you.
I want to invite you to gently shift your awareness to your nostrils. Take a deep breath in through your nostrils, and as you breathe out, relax. And one more slow, steady breath through your nostrils. And as you exhale, let your whole body relax. Shift your awareness from the world around you to the world inside you. At this moment of time, nothing else exists but your breath. Just be with your breath. Your normal, natural, simple, easy, relaxed breathing. With every inhalation and exhalation, become more and more relaxed. Feel the wave of relaxation sweeping your whole body. At this moment of time, completely drop your identity, your personality self, your ego, your analytical mind, which is the extension of your ego. Just drop it all and become pure consciousness. Withdraw your attention from all people, places, things, time and event, and just be with your in-breath and out-breath. And feel your whole body sinking into this generous present moment. As you observe each and every breath coming in and out of your nostrils, sense the temperature in your nostrils. Notice the sensations of the air as it moves in and out of your nostrils. Sense the sharp, cool sensation of the air on the way in and the warm, soft sensation of the air on its way out. Notice it. Sense it. Each and every breath is keenly observed. Are you breathing deep or shallow? Observe. Let not a single breath slip by without your awareness. If any time your attention seems to wander away with your thoughts, come back and bring your attention back to your nostrils. With every breath, feel yourself going deeper and deeper within. With every breath, sink further deep. Drift deeper. And even deeper still. And now it's time to become nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, and no time. Become pure consciousness. Aware that you're aware in this endless vast field. Surrender any aspects of your limited self to join the greater self and lose yourself in nothing to become everything. And now, gently shift your awareness to the area of your heart, allowing your breath to move in and out of this sacred center. Allow yourself to breathe more deeply, more soundly, and more completely. And as you breathe from this creative center, become aware of your feelings. Notice it. Remember, where your attention goes, your energy flows. With every breath, you infuse more life to your heart with your attention. This is the sacred place where we create from. With every breath, you activate this creative center furthermore. With every breath, you open your heart furthermore. With every breath, you activate this creative center furthermore. Feel the expansion in this area. Tune in to the pure positive energy of your inner being. Feel your connection with your source energy. Know that the source is the ultimate resource. Breathe. Feel. And move into a new state of being as you rest your attention within this center. Breathe, Feel immense joy, immense gratitude. Feel immense love. Be thankful for all the wonderful relationships which you have in your life. Feel the appreciation in your heart for what you appreciates. Feel it. Remember this feeling in your heart. Remember it by heart. And now I want you to think of that person whom you want to heal your relationship, with whom you want to reconcile your relationship. Think of this person who may frustrate you, push your emotional buttons, and trigger the feeling of anger, fear, rage, resentment, or any other limited emotions. Sometimes it seems like others have the power to negatively influence you, but that is never true. Breathe in, breathe out. It's only your response to them has the power to pinch you off from the naturally good feeling person that you are. Breathe in, breathe out. When others lash at you in anger with words or actions, their battle is not with you, but with themselves. Breathe in, breathe out. If you do not take their behavior personally, knowing that is their own limitation, in time they will leave you out of it. if you do not take things personally, there's a huge amount of freedom that comes to you. Breathe in, breathe out. The more you blame others for your problem, the more you keep the problem active in your vibration. Breathe in, breathe out. Understand that all relationships are like a mirror which is only reflecting you, your relationship with yourself. The universe only brings in aspects of others what is active in you. Breathe in, breathe out. Sometimes, as a part of your soul conscious, challenging relationships to help you evolve, help you grow. Sometimes you plant wounds to catalyze great healings. Breathe in, breathe out. Life events help you to heal and grow. It's happening for you and not to you. Breathe in, breathe out. Many a times you don't see things as they are. You see things as you are. Many a times you are a grievance looking for a cause. Today is time to change. Be a joy looking for a cause. Breathe in, breathe out. Your life will give you whatever experience is more helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. You must become a vibrational match to the qualities that you seek, because what comes to you always matches you. Breathe in, breathe out. If you feel threatened by another, the threat is not real, for only you can stop the natural flow of your natural well-being. Breathe in, breathe out. As you insist on looking at the positive aspects of others in time, only positive aspects will be shown to you as you change your own point of attraction. Focus on the best of what you see in others, and when some of the characteristics are missing, practice seeing them anyways. When you practice the thoughts of the things you desire, they must show up in your experience. It's a law. What irritates you about others only reflects the part of ego that's active in you. The universe only brings you aspects of others, what's active in you. Breathe in, breathe out. You have control over behavior of all others as it relates to you, because you are evoking behavior in them corresponding to your vibration. Breathe in, breathe out. Be selective of your focus as your attention feeds the energy. And energy is the currency of the universe. When you pay attention to something, you buy that experience. So use the positive aspects of each other to tune into who you really are. Focus your attention on what you love about that person. Catch them doing right rather than doing wrong. For what you appreciate appreciates. Breathe in. Breathe out. If the other person is behaving from an unconscious state, do not let your ego identify with it. The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts around it. Nobody can make you unhappy without your consent. There are no justified resentments. Breathe in, breathe breathe out. Drop all the judgments, any blame, any anger, any resentments. As your judgments carry a strong emotional charge, what you judge is what you draw more into your life. What you resist, you persist. As long as you keep blaming, you shift the responsibility. You came as a creator, not as a reactor. Breathe in, breathe out. And now, I want you to place the person in your heart and give immense love. Envelop that person into your love. Thank that person to help you in your spiritual awakening, to act as a catalyst in your spiritual journey, for mirroring the emotions that are active in you, and for showing the reflection of yourself in that person. Breathe in, breathe out, and now embrace this person and tell them all projections, expectations, judgments, separations, and rejections I have of you and of me because of you. I drop it totally and completely and let it go. Tell them, I leave you free to be yourself, to think your own thoughts, to indulge in your own tastes. Follow your inclination and to behave in ways you decide to your own liking. I accept and allow you to be the way you are. Breathe in, breathe out, and now I want you to forgive this person. Forgiveness does not mean that you are wrong and the other person is right. It means that you value a relationship more than your ego. As you forgive, you set yourself free. As you forgive, you release the burden of unwanted feelings towards this person. For an event once forgiven becomes a powerless memory and no longer generates the feeling of anger, frustration, resentment, or hurt. As you forgive, you feel complete. There is nothing missing. All that you need is alive in you. Breathe in, breathe out. And now, open your heart and give immense gratitude. Feel immense care, compassion, unconditional love, self-love, kindness, acceptance, and gentleness. Feel this feeling. Stay in this feeling. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now, as you reconcile your relationship with this person, you heal your patterns of relationship and reconcile your relationships all around. A win anywhere is a win everywhere. The relationships that you seek are flowing to you. So relax and enjoy the unfolding. Feel the appreciation for what is and eagerness for what is coming. There is great love here for you. And now, Divine One, sentient being, creator of destiny, center yourself by placing both your hands over your beautiful heart, your soul, acknowledging the sacred place that all things are created from, acknowledging the divine within you, the power within you, as you rest your awareness on this creative center. Breathe through it and allow your breath to relax your body. And now it's time to give thanks to your new relationship. Open your heart and give immense gratitude for all that you have created. And the longer you linger in this gratitude, the more you draw your new life into you. For the emotional signature of gratitude means that has already happened. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Thank the universe for opening your heart and heal all your relationships, including your relationship with your inner self. To strengthen your connection with your inner source, as your source is your ever-ready resource. And to show the evidence of it in your life, as your life is filled with unexpected wonder and the joy of existence. Breathe, feel, smile, and radiate your love into life, and receive the love from all of life. Be inspired, be lifted, feel invincible, feel empowered, feel magnificent. Breathe, feel, remember this feeling in your heart. Memorize this feeling. Anchor this feeling. Treasure this feeling. And remember by heart. And now, whenever you're ready, you can slowly bring your awareness back to your new body, to a new heart, to your new relationships, and to your new life in a whole new world, in a whole new time. Whenever you're ready, you may gently rub your hands and place it over your beautiful eyes. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly open your eyes. And come back. To this material world of senses. Take your time and slowly come back, filled with love and joy. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So friends, today I'm going to cover on relationships. So I'll start with non-violent communication. How many of you heard of non-violent communication? Yeah. Or heard of Marshall Rosenberg? Or anybody read his book, Marshall Rosenberg, Non-Violent Communication? Extremely powerful book. And it gives a concept of how our language, the way we speak, so many times there's so much of violence in it. Violence does not mean physical violence, not necessarily means physical violence, but the tone, our tone of voice, or a use of language or actions, even in a family environment, in a kids, with the children, the corporate environment, how we use that kind of language and the tone. And that's what he talks about, that our communication should be non-violent. And we don't realize how much violence is there in our communication, very subtle violence. So I'll play play a short video of him, and then I'll explain more. Yeah.
The purpose of nonviolent communication is to help you to do what you already know how to do. To connect in a way that makes natural giving possible. You all know that giving. You know how to do it. Remembering to stay with that quality of giving, moment by moment in any connection. But we also all know that it's easy to lose it. It's easy to lose that connection. So that instead of enjoying that quality of giving, which is possible every moment in every contact we have, in spite of how precious that is, we forget it. And instead of playing the game, making life wonderful, much of the time we play another game called Who's Right? Have you ever played that game? It's a game where everybody loses. So isn't this amazing that we all know about this quality of giving? It's possible every moment. We find that the richest thing to do. And much of our life, we end up playing Who's Right? Now, the game of Who's Right involves two of the most devious things human beings have ever come upon. One, punishment. Because if you're wrong in the game of Who's Right, then you deserve to suffer. No more punishment. You won't do it in your families. We'll get rid of it with criminals. It just makes things more violent. We'll find other ways to deal with other nations beside punishment. No more punishment. No more reward. It's the same game. Part of the game of Who's Right. If you're right, then you get rewarded. If you're wrong, you get punished. No more. No more. It's created enough violence on the planet. We've been educated for quite a while to make violence enjoyable. And educated in a way we can even be violent to our children. Watch a parent try to bring about change in the child. Say you're sorry. I'm sorry. You're not really sorry. I can see it. You're not really sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I forgive you. Can you imagine a game like that? Can you imagine a parent responding to a child that way? And if a parent is going to do that to a child in their own family, what are they going to do to people from other cultures who behave in a way they don't appreciate? So of course you're going to have violence wherever you have this kind of thinking. It's learning how to go up to our head and think basically in terms of right and wrong, good and bad, normal, abnormal. You see, natural giving, anything we do in life that isn't coming out of that energy, we pay for it and everybody else pays for it. Anything we do out of fear of punishment, if we don't, everybody pays for it. Anything we do for a reward, everybody pays for it. Everything we do to make people like us, everybody pays for it. Everything we do out of guilt, shame, duty, obligation, everybody pays for it. That isn't what we were designed for. We were designed to enjoy giving. Give from the heart.
So he says true giving is natural giving, right? In his understand the language of need. He talks about the language of need. Behind the root of all feelings is need. Behind every feeling, there's a need, there's underlying need. At the core of every anger, there's an unmet need. So once we learn how to understand the language of need, then we can truly help each other. But our biggest communication problem is we only look at the expression. Oh, how can he talk to me like this? Why is he behaving like this? How can he be angry or so rude to me? If a child is angry, there's an unmet need of the child. And that is what the anger is communicating, that I need your love, I need your attention. So what is that unmet need? We get lost in the expression and not the need behind the expression. So any relationship, we have to understand the need behind the expression and not get lost in the superficial expression. The biggest communication problem is we do not listen to understand. We listen to respond or to reply or to react. Right? And true listening is understanding the language of the need. What is that need behind? And the good thing is all human needs are universal. Right? We all need love, we all need care, we all need attention, we all need appreciation, we all need attachment. These are all basic human needs. And if we all understand the language of need, then it is so easy to resolve any conflict also. Because then we know, oh, his need and my need are same actually. We are complaining for the same reason, we are fighting for the same reason. Then why need to fight? Why not understand that need? And what he wants or she wants is same as I want from that person. Also the tone of voice, whatever you want, says request, not demand. Because the demand response is either the other person becomes submissive or rebellion. And both are not good. He talks about stop playing the game of right, wrong, good, bad, punishment, reward, guilt induction, inducting guilt and shame. duties and obligations. When we do, when we do that, we pay for it and everybody pays for it. He says violence has become fun, right? Our whole gaming industry thrives on violence. Movies, everything, games, so violence has become fun. But that is impacting the society psychologically. So, when it talks about the feeling, the language of need, when you want to communicate or you want to resolve anything, instead of be aware, instead of express the feeling, you should express the feeling, not the expression of that feeling. Suppose somebody does something and you feel hurt, you feel angry, or you feel upset. So rather than showing anger, you tell them, oh, when you do this, I feel angry. And I would like you to do it in a different way. Right? You can say, oh, I love so many good things about you. But when you do this thing, it makes me feel angry. So I would like you to do this thing differently, in this way. I'll appreciate if you can do it this way. Same thing. You're not suppressing your feeling. You're not suppressing your emotion. You're expressing it, but in a just different way. But when you express anger, that is violent communication. But when you express the feeling and not the expression of that feeling, that is non-violent communication. When you express the need behind that emotion, or what are you feeling, what do you need from the other person? Just say, what do you need from the other person in a nice way. So don't just express the feeling, but the need which is the cause of that feeling. And without bringing that person in. Sometimes you can say, if people talk to me like this, it's difficult for me to change, it's difficult for me to respond nicely. I'll appreciate if you can also be like this, or talk to me like this. I'll do better. I'll feel more connected. But instead of observation, we evaluate by criticism, analysis, judgment, or diagnosis, right? And that lead to that circle of endless cycle, game of who is right, who is wrong. So it is important to express your feeling, but in a nice way. Suppressing a negative feeling or to feel intensely about the wrong, and without voicing or expressing that feeling, is the beginning of disease. So you don't need to suppress it. Depression is lack of expression. Lack of expression leads to depression. So it is important to voice it. There's no point feeling intensely and then suppressing it, because the energy never dies. Then it will balloon slowly, inside it will start ballooning. Then your inner talk will start continuing against that person. The inner talk will be violent. And then it will come out in some or the other way on that person or some other person. Any trigger, and that it will come out like a volcano. So true intelligence is how do you express your feeling? How do you express How do you respond to sometimes others' unconscious state? Lao Tzu said, respond intelligently even to unintelligent treatment. Because it's not about their intelligence, it's about your that reflects your intelligence when you respond intelligently. And this is the true intelligence. When others are expressing unintelligently, you understand the need behind it. And when you respond, when you behave, you express your need and not that expression of that need, not that expression of that feeling. So you can take charge of changing the relationship. And when the others see that, then they'll start responding differently. Because then they'll understand that you are understanding their need. So, okay, so then I will also want to understand your need. If you understand my need, I will understand your need. And needs are so common. All needs are universal. You must have seen even our emotions, right? When we do the tag manifestation exercise, mainly there are 10, 11 emotions. Everything is just the same. Everybody wants the same thing. Literally everybody wants the same thing. So, only 10% of the conflict is due to difference of only 10% of the conflict is due to difference of opinion. 90% is because of the wrong tone of voice. Only 10% of the conflict is because of the difference of opinion. 90% of the conflict is because of the wrong tone of voice. And this is not just personal. Even it can lead to a fighting between two countries because one prime minister, one president said something in a wrong tone of voice and it hurt somebody's ego. And the nation is on war now. Raise your words, not voice. It is the rain that grows flowers, not thunder. Right? Sorry. So again, being aware of your inner alignment, being aware of how you, when you open your mouth, very, very carefully, very aware, be aware of each and every word. Be aware of your inner feeling, what's going on. How do you express it? Awareness is the key. No matter how the other person is behaving, you have to respond, you have to take the responsibility to respond intelligently. When you find sweetness in your heart, you'll find sweetness in every heart. Right? So find that sweetness, come from that inner place of love, understanding, compassion. When somebody is behaving out of a disconnection, out of his lack of alignment, what we need to feel is the compassion for that person. Oh, this person needs alignment, needs he's lost his connection. This person needs his connection or her connection. So you see it from the point of from the compassion. So there again, usually in a relationship, there are three stages of emotions or three patterns of emotions. How we usually reflect, how we usually, the way we behave in our day-to-day environment, in a family environment. First is emotional slavery. What is emotional slavery? We think we are responsible for others' feelings. How others behave or feel is not your responsibility. It reflects their consciousness. So you are not responsible for others people's feelings. If you become responsible for others people's feeling, then you become a slave to their emotions. A lot of times, people confuse an empathy. Oh, if the person is feeling bad, even I should feel bad. Empathy is not that. Empathy is understanding the need behind that feeling. Why is this person feeling bad? And what need is unmet? And how can I help that person to meet that need? By you feeling bad, you are aggravating the problem. You are adding to the problem. So a lot of times in our close relationships, we expect each other. If I am feeling bad, how can you not feel bad? If I am hurt, how can you not be hurt? I am crying, how can you not be crying? And vice versa, right? So all this is emotional slavery. Then the second stage is the rebellious stage. That angry stage, it's your problem, the hell with you. Yes, you are not responsible, but the way, the tone, the underlying emotion, the underlying way of doing is, to hell with you, I am not responsible for your feeling. I don't care. Indifferent. Abandonment. It's not my problem. Right? To hell with you. So that is a rebellious stage. Both are not good. Neither the emotional slavery is good, neither the rebellious stage is good. The third stage is the emotional liberation. What is emotional liberation? Responding to others' need out of compassion. Not out of guilt, shame, or fear. And also not suppressing your own need in responding to the other's need. Because how can you give if what you don't have? You cannot give what you don't have, like love. Only when you have love, you can give love. So when you respond to others' need and also expressing your own need, that is when the relationship becomes more fulfilling. But when you express your need with the Santa Claus energy. Lightheartedness. Don't make it serious. I need to talk to you. Serious conversation. I need your 5 minutes, which goes on for 1 hour. Right? Because you don't need to give so much. If you're going through something, but talking more and more, again you're activating that vibration more, right? So say it with the Santa Claus energy, lightheartedness. stating clearly what we need, what we need, stating clearly what we need in a way that communicates that we are equally concerned with the needs of others. So when you communicate your need, you also express your concern that I am also concerned with your need. And once you express your need, then your job is done. Don't do it with that expectation that the person might is definitely changing. He may change, he or she may change or not change. Because if you do it with the expectation and if the person does not change, then it will lead to rejection. And then you'll go back to the same old way approach. So the emotional liberation is you're expressing your need, you're understanding others' need, but at the same time, there is no expectation of the outcome. It's okay if it happens, and it's okay if it doesn't happen. But because you did it in the best way, that itself is so liberating. And you're doing it without expectation, it is further liberating. Because you are free from it now. Instead of expecting love, if you express love, you will experience love all the time. Because when there is a sweetness in your heart, when there is love in your heart, this is how law of attraction works. So anyways you will get it. So if we all accept the fact that it is important to accept the fact that our relationships are here to make us conscious. But we feel relationships are here to make us happy. But if we understand that relationships are here, happiness will be a byproduct. But primarily our relationships are here to make us conscious. Each relationship is a tool to make us conscious, more aware. And then actually the relationship becomes a great self-mastery tool. It should become a tool for self-mastery. It's a mirror which helps you keep realigning with yourself or with your higher purpose of life. So relationships are not here to make us happy. It is here to make us more conscious, more aware. That's why as a soul, we plan, sometimes the soul contract, we plan challenging relationships. If it was only supposed to make you happy, then why would you plan a challenging relationship? So that you plan it because you can learn from something. You planned it because you repeat what you don't repair. And this challenge is an opportunity for you to repair yourself. Until you keep repairing, until you repair, you will keep repeating those patterns, those patterns of relationship in your life. A lot of times people ask me confidentially, oh, I'm having a most challenging relationship with my spouse. And these are very common real life situations. The other person is like this, not changing, not responding to any of my need or whatever, And I feel very angry and frustrated and irritated, or dejected or unhurt, should I get out of the relationship? Should I look for another partner or another person? So the important thing is not looking for another partner or not. I said first you heal yourself. Being in this relationship, first you heal ourselves. The day you feel कि now I don't feel rejected, now I don't feel angry, now I don't feel hurt, now I'm in a state of whatever I've accepted, I made peace with everything. That time you have a choice to move out. But if you move out because you're angry and frustrated and irritated and hurt, then whoever partner you'll find, you'll go through the same pattern again. And the second and the third. So so the important thing is in this right now where you are, how do you first come to the state of balance? And that may need some distance, maybe some distance is fine. But important thing is to first heal yourself. First heal your triggers. And then you can choose to move. And in fact, but the beauty is when that happens, when you actually heal yourself, when you change your vibration, either your husband will change, his husband will change his behavior, or you will get a new husband or a new partner. And all that thing will happen very naturally, very smoothly. So the challenge in a relationship is not about finding other partner for happiness. One day my wife came out of a meditation and she hugged me. I was surprised what happened. She said, I got a message, I should embrace my mistake. A good wife always forgives her husband when she is wrong. I am not saying, Barack Obama said. So I'll show you another video. It's on deep listening. This is by of Thich Nhat Hanh, that Vietnamese master. I've shared that video before. Again, in an interview with Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, play the video.
What makes you laugh?
Anything that can help us laugh. If you talk to our young monastics, you find
Kishu, there is one more video. Yeah, yeah. Then now we'll see one more video of his. He talks about 4 mantras of a loving relationship. 4 mantras he is giving, what we should follow in a relationship. Yeah.
I like to talk about
So these are the 4 mantras he said. Darling, I'm here for you. Darling, I know you are there. You acknowledge, you give your full presence, and you acknowledge each other's presence. You offer your full presence, and also you acknowledge others' presence. Most time in a relationship, we don't even acknowledge each other's presence. Full presence. Not think of the past, not think of the future, just be there in the present moment. With no judgments, with no calculations, no negotiations. Just being there. Then the acknowledgement of the suffering. First 2 is acknowledgement of the presence, and the second 2 is the acknowledgement of the suffering. So now I'm going to talk about the 4 agreements. This is a book, yeah.
Hi, just reflecting to the last slide, something which came to my mind I had heard was the hope, no prayer. So So does it really work in the same way?
So, first thing is any prayer works when you actually feel, when you truly feel. Now, in Ho'oponopono prayer, you say, please forgive me. Now, if you're doing it as a ritual, it is not going to work at all. But if the forgiveness is real, and if you genuinely feel, no, it is something that I'm seeking, then it all works. But people say it's just a ritual. Please forgive me, I'm sorry, I'm thank you. Neither you are sorry, and you're wondering, why am I asking for forgiveness? Or somebody said, oh, use this Ho'oponopono prayer, it will heal a relationship. And you are wondering in your mind, you're thinking, oh, the other person should ask for forgiveness. I am sorry, why? The other person should be sorry. So, again, thinking something, feeling something. So, if it is truly matching your feeling, then any prayer works when it is combined with that feeling. Any affirmation will only work if it is combined with a feeling. Otherwise, a lot of time people say affirmations. But otherwise, these affirmations are just ritual. It is not going to do anything. So, what is important is to feel those affirmations. Then that is the energy you are vibrating to the other person or to the universe. And that brings the change with the feeling. Without feeling, nothing will happen. It can even work counterproductive. Because you are not feeling it, because you don't believe it. Or you feel otherwise. And then you will draw more of that, otherwise what you feel. Thank you.
Thanks.
So now I go to the four agreements. This is a book called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel. Simple four things he has given for a good relationship. He says, be impeccable with your words. So I've already showed you the power of words, power of speech. So he says, whatever you want to speak, speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. And he says, avoid using the words to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Always use the power of the word, power of words in the direction of truth and love. Let it be an act of love. Let your language be an act of love. Let your expression be an act of love. So don't sit at the table when they gossip about others. Because when you get up, you are the next topic. Patricia used to say, gossip is the cancer to the soul. It's like a cancer to the soul. So, be careful. And when others are gossip, you can leave the table. Without judging them. They can continue what they are doing. Without condemning them. But that's not your vibration that you want to create. So, a lot of times people come with criticism. They're coming to you and then criticizing others. And sometimes we take satisfaction by that, oh, somebody is being wrong. So, you don't have to encourage that. By doing that, you're not helping that person, you're helping yourself. You should be hearing positive things about people. expressing positive things about people. You should be willing to only look for positive aspects of each other. Hear positive aspects of each other, tell positive aspects of each other. Because you should be willing to look only for solutions. And not willing to beat the problem, to beat the drums of beat the drum of all the problems of the world. That does not mean the problem does not exist. But by beating the drum about the problem, you are activating more of that vibration. So tune into the positive aspects of others to tune into the positive aspect of yourself. When you tune into the positive aspects of others, you tune into the positive aspects of yourself. Your own positivity comes alive. Right? What you appreciate appreciates in them and you both. Yeah.
Hello, sir. My name is Raj. So, as you explained about the non-violent communication, my question is regarding that certain people respond to certain type of communication. My experience like that has been, for some people, they need a loud voice. If you are nice, gentle and soft, they will try to sit on the head. Means they understand that language. Some people have a very high level of ego-based driven. So at that time, to communicate with them, you have to polish their ego. So how do you see such kind of, what is your view about such kind of communication?
Speak with your truth and your integrity. How they want to listen reflects them. How you want to speak reflects you. So what do you want to reflect about yourself? That tells about you. Buddha had his cousin, right, who was always trying to trouble him, and he was very jealous of Buddha. He even tried to kill Buddha. But Buddha never spoke with loudness or anger or frustration. He, in fact, saw it always with compassion. Because that speaks of what Buddha is. How others behave or how others want is their issue. Gandhiji wanted to give freedom to a country. He wanted the freedom from a country not by violence but by non-violence. In spite of so much oppression at that time, he chose to have a freedom with non-violence, even though the others were violent towards him, and he was jailed many times. But he still looked at them with compassion, with love. He still became that embodiment of love. And eventually got us freedom. Right? So, and the whole nation went behind him for that virtue. So, when you speak, when you stay with your truth, with your integrity, your vibration your vibration never lies. Your vibration will get your things done. And it may take little longer. Those things are already short term. But long term, it's a pain. Long term, you'll never have a great relationship. Right? Then it's like same thing, right? You cannot solve the problem from the same level of mind which created it. Thank you. So now the second is very, very powerful one. Don't take anything personally. Don Miguel said, don't take anything personally. Our biggest problem in a relationship is we take everything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say or do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and action of others, then you won't be the victim of that needless suffering. Sometimes it could be a good reflection of maybe there's a lesson that you need to learn. But if you take it personally, then you activate that vibration. You are again aligning with their unconscious state. And when you don't take things personally, there's a huge amount of freedom that comes to you. It's really liberating. You feel free. Right? Care about the opinion of others, you'll always be their prisoner. That means they control you. If you take things personally, that means your life's remote control is in somebody else's hand. Your emotional remote control is in somebody else's hand. Rumi said, stop acting so small. You are the universe in aesthetic motion. By taking personally, you are belittling yourself. If we can understand, coming to your question also, if we can understand that if I understand that what I create has nothing to do with anybody else, what anybody else is creating, then I would not be so afraid of what others are doing. Because I know what I create my reality. How others person behave or they create and talk or need that behavior is their reality. I don't need to be afraid of that because I know I create my reality. Actually, it's not what happens to you. It's what happens in you. It's what happens in you as a result of what happens to you. That you need to be careful about. That you need to be aware about. Yeah. Mohit here.
Hi, sir. Sir, I want to ask you one question. Sir, all these things which you are explaining, right, like don't take anything personally. Sir, all this looks and sounds very fine here in this workshop, sir. But when we go out in the real world and go through that feeling right now when I'm saying, sir, when somebody is really somehow insulting you in front of 4 people, in front of 5 people. Those 4 can be your office colleagues. Those 4 can be some extended family members. And we all have gone through this. We all go through this regularly, sir. It is nothing of this comes to rescue, sir.
So what do you mean by insult? What is insult?
Insulted, you said something which tarnished your image.
What is image?
I'm saying, sir, all this sounds very fine here, sir, in this workshop.
But that's the journey, right? That's the journey. And until we don't learn, we'll keep taking birth. We'll keep taking lifetimes and lifetimes of human experience to keep learn. Sooner you learn, the better it is. Your choice. Don't learn because it's not possible to learn.
But in that moment, how? In that moment?
In the moment, that awareness is the key. That's why I say sometimes silence, non-reaction. Because in that moment, if you are angry, you are raged, then You think equal to your emotion. You express equal to your feelings. And only that will come out, which is according to your feelings. So at that moment, just non-reaction, silence. Okay, I'll respond to this person tomorrow. Right? Next day morning, you go, meditate, have a good 1 hour meditation. Then you come back, you'll see how differently you respond. Or you may say, I don't even need to respond.
Yeah, but it is not easy, right?
Nothing is easy, nothing is difficult. It's a choice. But it is possible, right? So, I'll tell you one more thing. If you are trying to explain about yourself, who can't understand you, and you keep trying to explain them, this is what, this is what, this is what, this is what. And you keep trying that, they will more and more they'll keep showing in your vibration. Because you're only trying to keep them understand, you are keeping them in your experience. So many times we break our head trying to make people understand. But by trying to keep making them understand, what are you doing? You're giving so much attention to your issue, to them. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. Where your energy flows, the universe shows. So you will make sure that they remain in your experience all the time. So sometimes you just ignore. Whitewash what you don't want to see. Yeah.
Just sharing an experience with your permission, Shreya.
Sure.
I read this book nearly a year back. It has had a tremendous impact on me. Just trying to add little value to whatever I can. Each of this is so powerful and is so difficult to implement. Each of this is so powerful and is so difficult to implement, trust me. 1 year today, even now I find it really very difficult, but yes, a progress has been made. Taking things personally, not making assumptions is so difficult because throughout our life we are just doing that. However, whenever I started not taking things personally, I've observed personally that energy shifts have happened dramatically. Like Shreyans, you also said respond to it tomorrow. Many times I realize there's no need for a response, it's got sorted out automatically. And the relationship is fine, it's absolutely okay. Thank you. That's what
Thank
I want
you.
to say.
Shrikant, I want to thank you. I already attended, and once my daughter came from Chennai to Delhi with all of the friends, and we are eating, my wife was shouting like anything, and I was eating. Then her friends say, Uncle, auntie डांट रही है आपको. That means auntie is shouting you. I know, डांटना उनका काम है, खुश रहना मेरा काम है. That means
So you are trying to say all wives are like that.
also, be incapable with your word. What I got means my thoughts, my feelings, my emotion, my word, my speech, action gives the reality. That's also I got that. And don't take it personally. Even when I'm going on the street, even lot of dogs are coming. Can I say who am you know? How can you dog? So that is the bother. So डांटना उनका काम है, बिच्छू को काटना उनका काम है, कुत्ता का चिल्लाना उनका काम है, मेरा क्या काम है? So am I creative or reactive? सब एक है.
मतलब इन्होंने वाइफ को बिच्छू ही बोला, कुत्ता ही बोला.
नहीं, कुत्ता तो बागर कर सकती है, लेकिन
बॉस, ये रिकॉर्डिंग आपकी वाइफ को भिजवाना है.
Actually, who is having the remote? Are you having the remote or people are having the remote? So see, even if, just like Vivekananda will say, even the few things we follow, life is jingalala. Thank you.
Right. I like it. Life is hingalala. So we are all work in progress. The fact is, I am teaching, I am not perfect. But when I make that mistake, I realize now, oh, I should have behaved differently. This time, I should not have reacted. I could have just maintained silence. All right, so next time I'll do it better. Right? So it's all about awareness. And then you don't make your mistakes also so seriously. Laugh at it, light-hearted. But you know, next time, you take it as a spiritual experience. When that comes, you know I'm not going to take it personally and respond with compassion. So, the awareness is the key. With all this knowledge, understanding, it gives you an awareness. Then change may happen gradually. And it's always a journey. It's always a journey. We're always work in progress at any given time. Right? The best healers are still healing. The best teachers are still learning. So we are all work in progress. So next is don't make assumptions. A lot of times in a relationship, we assume something already. I remember once I went to Delhi. A very close friend of mine lives in Delhi. We were in college together and in a roommates together in a boarding school. So always used to go meet him. If not meet, at least talk to him. I'm in Delhi. I called him once and he spoke very coldly to me. It's around 6-7 years back. And I'm like, what the hell? And I kept the phone. Kya plan hai? He was very vague and all. And I assumed ki, you know, what the hell is this? I was very angry, upset with him. After a few days, I realized that he was filing for divorce. And he was going through a very challenging relationship. So sometimes we don't know what other person is going through, but we start making assumptions. So don't make assumptions. Always give others the benefit of doubt. Maybe something is happening. That's why the person. Forget whether your benefit of doubt, what you're giving to the other person is right or wrong. But it will help you to drop resistance. I developed resistance because of that behavior, and I was angry, I was upset. But if I would have given him the benefit of doubt that, oh, maybe something must be going through, he must be going through something. And if I would have given that benefit of doubt, it would have helped me to drop resistance. Secondly, rather than making assumptions, find the courage to ask questions and to express whatever you are really wanting. Communicate with others as clearly to avoid any misunderstanding or sadness or drama. I could have asked the person, ki bhai, what's happening in your life? Is there something you need to talk to me about something? Is there something going on? This is not your normal thing. Tell me, I'm happy to listen. Whatever, to communicate. That avoids misunderstanding, sadness, drama. Otherwise, we create drama when nothing existed but peace. And I came back and I called another 2 friends of mine. Because I was very angry. And I told him, I'm here for 3 days, let's meet. He said, I'll tell you. So sometimes we create unnecessary drama. So don't make assumptions, right? In fact, in a relationship, practice how you can make others feel good about themselves. Be a catalyst in making people feel so good about themselves. Because people will forget what you did for them, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And the best thing is, this does not cost any money. Making people feel good about themselves does not cost any money. 2 lines of appreciation, 2 lines of whatever is the goodness about themselves, just appreciating them, acknowledging that. That's it. And that's how you let your light shine on others. By making them feel good about themselves. Whenever you speak and hear, let love and light shine through you. Always focus on the best version of others and truly believe in it. Next is always do your best. At any given situation, at that moment, whatever best you could have done, you should do. As you said, Mohit, somebody is behaving like this. At that moment, the best could be non-reaction. So at that moment to moment, whatever best could be done at that moment, do that. And your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you're tired as opposed to well-rested. It will be different when you're angry, when you are calm, peaceful. Under any circumstance, at that moment, whatever best you can do, do your best. And that, when you do that, because then that's a victory. You know at that moment, this is the best I could have done. And that's a victory. You didn't become a victim, you became a victor. You didn't become the victim of that moment, of that situation. You mastered it. And that will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, regret. Because otherwise then you feel regret, oh, why did I behave like this? I should not have spoken like this. Self-judgment, guilt. That's why Marshall Rosenberg said, appreciation is such a powerful tool. He said, never delay an expression of appreciation. It has a terrible shelf life. Any moment you are given a chance to appreciate, don't lose that. Anything, find reasons to feel good. Don't find reasons to feel sad or happy or victim. Find reasons to feel good. Let your dominant intent to be feel good. Which means to be playful, have fun, lightheartedness, laugh, look for reasons to appreciate, practice the art of appreciation. And as you practice this, as you keep practicing it more and more, the universe which has been watching you practice will start giving constant opportunities to now express it. And that's how life just gets better and better and better. Thank you. So we'll take a break now and we meet at 12:20. Yeah. Thank you. friends, now I'm going to share with you the 7 unseen mirrors of relationship. So who are these Asins? So Asins were the highly evolved beings who developed this means of defining human relationship. They defined this human relationship, and they constituted these 7 mirrors, so that by understanding these 7 mirrors of relationship, it gives us the powerful insights about our relationship. Like Jesus was one of the Asins. These Asins existed between 150 BC and AD 70, and they have shared this wisdom to understand our relationships, right? And life is all about relationship, right? You'll never find yourself in a point of time when the subject matter of relationship is not a part of your now experience. The only way we do experience that now experience is in form of relationship, right? It's always there's always a comparative experience, right? Whatever something that we perceive, for everything that we perceive or notice is because of a relationship with something else. And so without that comparative experience, we'll be unable to perceive or focus any kind of understanding within yourself. Imagine you're the only person in the world. You'll never understand yourself. So because of relationship, we understand ourselves. Because of relationship, we get the opportunity to heal ourselves, to repair ourselves, to work on ourselves. And therefore, I would say that without relationship, we cannot exist at all. Because there is no comparative experience. And relationships are the laboratories of the spirit. Relationships are the laboratories of the spirit. They are the hospitals of soul. They are the places where the wounds that we hold will be brought up. Because that's the only way they can be healed. So relationship is a great tool for healing. So through the means of these 7 mirrors, through the actions of others towards us, or our own actions, or towards each other, our actions, language, the situations we create together, the choices we make, we understand what all that we understand from a very deeper perspective. We go beyond that surface level of reality. We are going to see things from a more deeper eye. Sorry. And all this, so I'm going to take you one by one to each mirror, and each mirror gives you a different perception of a relationship. And many a times we go through these mirrors simultaneously. It's not like, oh, I'm going through one mirror, so but at the same time you can go to 2 mirrors or 4 mirrors or 3 mirrors simultaneously. So from the perspective of these mirrors, we are invited for the possibility, we are invited to allow for the possibility to know ourselves in the presence of others through our relationships. And once we understand it, only when we have a true understanding, then we can reconcile those relationships. And then we become the benefit of that healing. But most of the time, if you do not understand only, how do you treat it? Like, right diagnosis is half solution. Shakespeare said the entire world is a great theatre of mirrors. That's why we put mirrors today. The entire world is a great theatre of mirrors. The outside mirrors the inside, right? As within, so without. And that relationships is also a mirror. Relationships are a mirror. Every relationship is a mirror reflecting the contents of our consciousness. And through the help of relationships, life will give you the experiences which is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. So now we'll go by each mirror one by one. The first unseen mirror reflects to us that which we are. So this is the mirror of the moment. We know we create our own reality, what you feel about, you bring about. So in that current moment, whatever is your most dominant feeling, you will attract people more who will demonstrate that feeling or evoke more of that feeling from you, through you, or demonstrate that feeling towards you. Or you see those feelings being expressed in your surroundings. Suppose you are in an anger state, you are in a state of anger. You will find more people who will trigger more anger from you, or they are expressing anger towards you. Or in your presence, people are demonstrating that expression of anger. So it is a very simple mirror. Whatever is your dominant emotion, you will see that expression of that emotion in your outward reality through the relationships around you. And it could be anything. It could be a negative or a positive emotion, fear, anger, rage, or it could be joy, happiness, ecstasy. Whatever we are in the present moment, right? So this is clear, simple, right? So what is important is to be selective of the focus. Whatever is your present emotion, when you see that reflected in the outward reality, you need to know, you need to be aware what I am giving focus to, what I am giving attention to. If I keep giving attention to those, if I keep feeding that, right? Remember the wolf story? If I keep feeding that, then I'll draw more of that. So this is a reflection to make you aware what you want to feed or what you're already feeding. Your attention is your power, your life force. So don't feed what doesn't add value to your life. Protect your energy. Don't feed what doesn't add value to your life. Your energy is the currency of the universe. So protect your energy. Be mindful of where you use your energy. How you use your energy. So now we go to the second mirror. Now this is a very subtle mirror. How like ego, spiritual ego enters the back door. Now this mirror is also a very subtle mirror. It reflects to us what we judge. Give you my example, like when I go into spirituality, I became very calm, peaceful, felt very calm, very peaceful. And anybody who I saw would express any anger or short-term or short-temperedness, I had a strong judgment towards those people. I would like despise them. Like I hate them. I don't want to be in their presence. How can they be like that? How can one behave like that? Oh, they need meditation. They should be a meditator. So, and then I realized that I'm drawing more of the relationships of the people who are expressing that sudden outburst towards me, sudden anger towards me, or rage. And I'm wondering, this is not me. If I create my reality, I am so calm, peaceful. Why are people all of a sudden behaving like this? And the more they behave, the more I despise them. The more I resist. The more I resisted, and the more you resist, what you resist, you persist. Right? So, a judgment carries an emotional charge. And because of that emotional charge, you attract more of that response in your environment. Because that emotional charge is magnetic. It will draw something corresponding to that vibration. So many times we meet people who frustrate you, who push your buttons of anger or rage, and you realize, oh, it's not my pattern. But then that is the time when you need to reflect, am I carrying a judgment towards this emotion? No matter what is, whether it is negative or positive. Their journey, their emotion is their journey, their life. So who are we to judge? Because the moment you judge, you assign it a meaning. And then you draw that experience into your life. Then you buy that experience into your life. You invite that reality into your life. Sorry. So, don't resent other people's greed or this dishonesty or their lack of integrity or whatever they are doing, what they did in the past, what they said, what they failed to do, what they should have done or they should not have done. When we focus on all these things, what do? Instead of overlooking their unconsciousness, instead of overlooking that unconsciousness in others, we make it our identity. We make it we make their unconsciousness into our identity. We identify with their unconscious state. Then that's how it becomes yours. And why do you identify with that? Because the unconscious in you wants to identify with the unconsciousness in others. If you are fully conscious, fully aware, you will not identify with their unconsciousness. So this is something where you need to reflect. Why is it triggering me? Why is it bothering me? What you react to in another, you strengthen in yourself. Remember this. What you react to in another, you strengthen in yourself. Because the observer is not separate from the observed. The observer affects what is being observed. By judging, with your act of judgment, is evoking that response from that person. By the act of judgment, you are participating in their behavior. Your expectancy determines the outcome. Yeah, here, Mike here. And especially in close relationships, right? Because now we know them well. When you meet people for the first time, we hardly know, so it's so easy to get along. But the more you start knowing them, now you know all the negativities, and the judgment starts coming in. Yes, familiarity breeds contempt. The more familiar you become, the more you contempt, the more is the contempt. The more you resist their behaviors. You don't see your wife, you see the memory of her of the last 30 years. Right? Even before she has completed the sentence, you have already judged her and made up your mind. Sorry.
Shreyan's two questions, one to the earlier mirror and to the second. For example, person A is having anger towards person B. So he's obviously reflecting us in a state there. Okay, person B realizes person A realizes he's reflecting the anger state. Now, how do we know if I'm reflecting my own anger or I'm reflecting his anger? I might be having anger in me. So, is it a result of my own anger or is it a reflection of B's anger? That's first question. Second is reflect was on what we judge. It's pretty subtle, like you rightly said. What I was trying to understand is that there is a criminal. You know he's a criminal for whatever XYZ reason. You would not like to associate with him for whatever your personal reasons. However, when I am thinking about him as a criminal, I'm already judging that he is a criminal. However, I need to avoid him. That is also very clear because it's not the right company to keep. So how does one handle this? Thank you.
So I'll answer your second one first. So the moment you say, oh, he's a criminal, so I would not say criminal, I would say he is unconscious. Right? It's just act of being unconscious, act of non-alignment with the inner being. And he is not criminal, he was not a born criminal. If his past was your past, his pain, your pain, his level of consciousness, your level of consciousness, you would have acted, behaved, thought and acted exactly as that same criminal would have done, so-called criminal would have done. And once you realize that, then comes forgiveness, then you feel compassionate. If you understand their past, the pain they have gone through, the miseries they have gone through, which has led to their unconscious state, to continue to be that unconscious state, which has led to their disconnection with the inner being. And that's why they have become criminal. So again, don't judge the expression, but the need, look at the need behind that expression. They didn't get love. They didn't get compassion. They were not taught empathy in the childhood. They had a very difficult childhood. Most of it like that. So, you understand? But when you judge, of course, you want to be careful. You want to know what company you want to keep. But that does not mean, but you can do that without judging them. Right? Yeah. What was your first one? I got confused between A, B, B. Oh yeah. So but that's why these mirrors are, right? So that you will be able to, because that answer you will only give, you will be only able to give yourself. Your heart knows, your inner being knows. Is it my pattern which I am seeing in them, or is it my judgment which I am seeing in them? Right. So your inner being knows, and that's why I am sharing these mirrors, so that you will be able to now understand that fine line, the thin line. Thank you. Let me complete this and then I'll talk. So, a man is according to the manner you look at him, right? The way you perceive others, others will behave the same way. Because of your perception, they are behaving that way. That's why when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And we have seen in quantum physics how the observer affects what is being observed. So your relationships are all like mirrors. So you have to understand, what is this relationship mirroring? What is this mirroring? Is it about my first mirror, second mirror, third mirror? You'll understand, then you'll know what is this mirroring. It's still your mirror. And if you change that perception, if you focus on the good things about others, about their goodness, you will evoke more of that goodness from them. And this is what, especially in a close relationship, because we know them well. Because we know them well, we know the history, and that brings the conditioning, that brings the judgment. You have to look in the mirror, that relationship. Say, my relationship with my wife is like a mirror. And if I look in that mirror and like what I see, then what I see will change. When you look in the mirror and like what you see will change. If you look in the mirror and say, you feel shameful about yourself, this is what you will see. If you look in the mirror and say, wow, I am amazing, that is what you will see. So mirror only shows what you are trying to see. Mirror has no judgment. We have the judgment. And the moment you have judgment, the judgment creates resistance. Right? And all resistance is futile. Right? What you fight, you strengthen. What you resist, persist. And when you carry the judgment, judgment is strong also in inner conversation, inner talk. So your energy introduces them, your energy introduces you before you speak. So they can sense your energy. Lot of times you've seen in relationship, right? Husband, wife, parents, kids. If a father is irritated or a mother is irritated, no matter how nicely he's trying to tell the child, but inside there's a frustration and irritation and the tone, the child will also respond in an irritated tone. Because child is absorbing your energy, not what you're speaking. So the greater part of the human pain is unnecessary. It is self-created because the unobserved mind runs our life. We are not aware. Whatever the pain we create is always, remember this, whatever the pain we create is always The pain we create now is always some form of non-acceptance, some form of unconscious resistance to what is. Because you don't want to accept the person the way they are. Because of non-acceptance, there's a resistance. That resistance leads to pain. And that resistance is so unconscious. That's why it turns into a strong judgment. So whatever irritates you about others only reflects the part of you that is the part of you that is active in you, part of the ego that is active in you, right? Lao Tzu said, you are controlled by the one who makes you angry. You are controlled by the one who makes you angry. If somebody can annoy you, that means they are controlling you. So, when we judge, you will get triggered by the behavior. That means you know there is a judgment inside me. Otherwise, it will not trigger. Whatever the behavior is, it will not trigger you. Nothing triggered Buddha. But the triggers are our best teachers because they hint us at the part of us that need awareness, that need acceptance, that need understanding, that part of us that needs compassion, that needs healing. Whatever you sincerely believe is true of another, you will awaken within him. Because of your belief. Because you believe it, that's why you see it. Right? Others only echo what you whisper to them in secret. That's why J.D. Krishnamurti said, your ability to observe without evaluating, our ability to observe without evaluating is the highest form of human intelligence. But we always like to evaluate. So you have control over the behavior of others in relationship to you, as it relates to you, because you are evoking behavior in them corresponding to your vibration. Right? Universe will only bring the aspects of others which is active in you. So either you can judge or you can love. When you find fault in others, you create your own fault lines. When you find fault in others, you create your own fault lines. Rumi said, if you are looking for a friend who is faultless, you will be friendless. We all have mistakes. None of us is perfect. But we are looking for perfection in others. But relationship is all about accepting our imperfections. How true friendship? In true friendship, there is acceptance, right? You know, your childhood friend, you know, ये ऐसी है यार, चलता है, but I love him. Because you accept their mistakes, you accept their imperfections. You have no judgments for the imperfections. So do not dwell upon the imperfection of yours or others. So it needs a lot of awareness. To drop judgment needs a lot of awareness. Carl Jung said thinking is difficult, that's why most people judge. Thinking is difficult, that's why most people judge. It's so easy to judge. And when you understand that every opinion, your every opinion is a vision loaded with personal history. There's a history behind. When there's a judgment, there's a lot of personal history. Your opinion is loaded with personal history. And if you understand that, you'll understand that every judgment, all judgment is a confession. What you judge of others is actually a confession about yourself. All judgment is confession. So Rumi said, out beyond the ideas of wrongdoings and right doings, there is a field. I'll meet you there. So drop the judgment. Wrongdoing, right doing, negative, positive, good, bad, nothing. So we are clear about the second mirror? Now the third unseen mirror reflects back to us something we lost, gave away, or had taken away. So let me explain you. So sometimes you meet a person for the first time, and the moment you see the person, the moment you look in their eyes, in that moment the magic happens. You feel the electric charge, you feel attracted towards that person. And it need not be romantic, it could be romantic or non-romantic. Sometimes you see an old person or an old lady, you see like, oh, this person, it feels like my mother or my grandmother. So it could be anything. You feel attracted to that person. So why do you feel attracted to few people when you meet for the first time, and why do you not feel attracted to people when you don't meet, when you are meeting for the first time? So the reason why you feel attraction is because as growing in your childhood, in your innocence to survive life's offerings, when you are going through challenges or through contrasting situations, through adversities, you lose some essence of your life. Your spirit, your soul gets fragmented. Some qualities, some virtues are lost in you. Maybe because the judgment of your parents, the guilt or the shame inducted by the parents. It could be anything. You lost some virtues about yourself. And when you meet a person who is strong in that virtue, you feel very attracted towards them. Because in a way they complete you. The soul craves to complete itself. And maybe in their company, you will learn that virtue. You will regain back that virtue through them. They become your teacher for that virtue. And that's why you feel attracted towards some people like that. So simple, yeah. I'll go to the fourth mirror. So the fourth unseen mirror reflects back to us our most forgotten love. So we love our family, we love our friends, right? And we truly love them. But a lot of times in a relationship, we wonder why even though I love them, but why are they not loving me anymore? Why are they not responding to me the way I want them to respond? And I genuinely love them. I know I love them from my heart. But why they don't feel the love for me? So many a times, as we start growing up, we start developing some compulsive patterns, some addictive patterns. What it could be? It could be addiction to making money, or sex, or power, alcohol, or nicotine, or substance abuse. And then, because of that addiction, because of your compulsive need to accommodate your addictions, your compulsive patterns, you lose your attention to your loved ones. Because your attention is going towards to develop a mechanism to thrive or to survive without you. Even though you may be physically living together, but then they develop a mechanism to be happy without you. Because whenever they wanted from you, they didn't get it because you were busy accommodating your compulsive addictive patterns. And this happens slowly by slowly. It doesn't happen one fine day and all of a sudden one person feels like that. Slowly by slowly. Because they want to get back to you. They want to try to get your attention, to get your love. But every time they try, they feel dejected. Then they say, okay. And there comes a time when, even though you'll still love them, but they don't love you anymore. And then you wonder why my wife is not loving me anymore. Why my children don't love me anymore. Because when they needed you, you were not there for them. You were busy accommodating your behavior, your compulsive patterns. It could be anything, to accommodate a compulsive pattern. Sometimes you lose your loved ones. Sometimes you lose your very job, your very source of livelihood, just to accommodate that pattern. It could be an egoic pattern, like an issue of control in a corporate or a family environment. And these patterns unfold gradually, little by little. But as this has happened gradually, it can be recognized any time. The moment you become aware, then you can work on healing these patterns. It can be healed any time, and then you can find wholeness in your relationship. But for that needs effort. You need to break that pattern. You need to break your compulsive addictive patterns. Right? Patterns needs to be broken. Mistakes can be forgiven, but pattern needs to be broken. Say somebody is an alcoholic in the family. People feel bad for some time, but after a point, they know how to hold their own fort. They know how to bring up themselves up without that person. Because they know that they can't depend on this person. So alcohol is a very visible addiction. But it could be addiction of making money, it could be addiction of power. And that is a bigger problem, because at least alcohol is visible. The other addictions are not even visible. What you thought was your virtue. Clear? Any questions? Now the fifth Asil mirror reflects back to us our relationship with our parents, our father, mother. So a lot of times, So a lot of times in a family environment, because our relationship with our parents is so sacred, we treat them as a god. Our relationship with our parents becomes our relationship with the world. So if we feel judged by our parents, if we feel condemned by our parents, or if we've been inducted guilt or shame by our parents, as we grow up, when you will keep finding a relationship in your life which will demonstrate the same patterns, so that it gives you an opportunity to heal. It gives you an opportunity to, because you repeat what you don't repair. As a child you were innocent, but all said and done, you still carry those patterns now. But as you grow up, in your relationships, you will find more of the relationships which will give you an opportunity to heal that pattern. So you have to understand that why am I attracting more of these people in my life who represents like my father, my mother. So sometimes you have to see what is your pattern which you learned from your parents. It is often said we marry our father or mother, right? And it is true. Because your spouse comes with the same pattern. You attracted them so that it gives you the opportunity to learn, to overcome your patterns. If you think, oh, your parents always thought I am never good enough, I am not good enough. Even with your wife, you'll always feel, or your husband, you'll always feel, oh, I am not good enough. But that is a tool for awakening, not for blaming, not for anything else. And when you go back, you will know, oh, this is a pattern which I got from my parents. And that's why I attracted this spouse in my life. This is the pattern which I attracted from my parents, and that's why my children are behaving like this. Sometimes it could become transgenerational, pass on from generation to generation. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So, focusing on the fourth scene mirror that you spoke about, I want to ask you a question in regards to the fourth and the second one. Now, say ever since your childhood, you have been, in a relationship where, I mean, of course, given that you are a child, you are innocent, but the other person has a compulsive habit. I mean, of course, for their own reasons, for how their soul requires. But that often leads to a very fixed judgment in your head against that person.
Right.
So my question over here is, how exactly do we deal with those people, and how do we ensure that we do not encounter any such more people in life? Because, you might pacify yourself by saying that, that's just how the person is. Now, say if I am to give an example of somebody in my life who has a very compulsive habit of getting angry. He's just an angry person by heart ever since I've been in contact with the person. Okay? I might pacify myself saying that, okay, it's just an angry person. You know, maybe every time you come up with an excuse, maybe aaj din acha nahi tha, aaj mood acha nahi hai, something or the other. But then, you know, there's always a threshold to which you can deal with those things. So now the confusion is between the boundary and the threshold here. So how long do you keep dealing? And if you are trying to draw a boundary, you know, then also it comes off
Is
as
it
rude.
within, is it linear? Is it like from the parent side or is it?
Yeah, from my
Right.
parents' side.
Right. So I'm going to cover that topic of parenting. And also today we are going to cover transgenerational healing also. Tonight in the night there's a full moon meditation. And in that I'll cover the topic of transgenerational healing. And then we'll do the transgenerational healing meditation. Yeah. So we'll cover all that. But what happens is, especially with our parents, right? Because there was a need for attachment and we didn't get it. Because they were busy with their compulsive addictive pattern, there's a strong judgment which comes in, right? And the hurt and the anger, and which is natural, right? But that is, they are innocent, they didn't know better. I am telling you as a parent, I made so many mistakes. In spite of spirituality, I feel the maximum mistake I made is as a parent because I didn't know better. Nobody gives you a manual for parenting, right? And so they were innocent, but now that we know, we need to drop the judgment. And especially when you look at their childhood, if you understand what childhood they must have gone through, then you will develop that compassion. Because they got it from their parents. It came from their childhood. And that's how it becomes transgenerational. But if we don't heal, if we don't repair ourselves, then we will pass it on to our children. So it is our responsibility to break that chain of pain. Right? Trauma not transformed becomes trauma transferred. Trauma not transformed becomes trauma transferred. That's how this intergenerational trauma, you keep transferring from one generation to another. But I'm going to cover more on this specific thing, yeah. Just take the mic.
Hello. You are saying, whatever my father knows, according to me, I was in the childhood. He was very strict. Every day morning we have to wake up, do the puja. After 6 o'clock should not be a lot of strict. And that was actually, when I see that my father is always Hitler. When I got married, when I got my son, I will give full freedom to my son. And so I am not very strict. I never beat my daughter or son. And I think I am a very good father because I fulfilled my father what missed. I rectified. Right. But one of the things, when they liberated, something very, Papa, आपने तो बचपन से छोड़ दिया, अब आकर बोल रहे हो, आप उसी टाइम मेरे को strictly क्यों नहीं किया था? So,
yes, so that's a very good point. Sometimes you go to the extreme. So what is important to balance? And I'm going to cover more on the parenting topic, right?
So that is the way balancing, जैसे ये भी चाहिए, वो भी चाहिए. So I was thinking my own angle, but I was not thinking what my generation will do that.
Right. Sometimes the parents put too many boundaries. So now you lose all the boundaries for your children. Sometimes you go extreme. Right? So what is important is to find the right balance. Yeah. Right?
So that I like the word right balance, not to compensate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we try to compensate. We try to become that rescuer. Yeah. You know? Because we knew the pain we went through. Now all of a sudden we go to the extreme opposite side. So I'm going to cover a lot on this, on parenting. Yeah. So now come to the sixth unseen mirror. Now, sixth unseen mirror reflects back to us the quest for darkness, or what is referred to as the dark night of the soul. Now, what is dark night of the soul? Sometimes we have completely evolved, we are very peaceful, we are very nice, everywhere. I mean, we have really evolved our consciousness in true sense. Still, you face some huge challenge. And you wonder, oh, I create my reality, then how did this law of attraction attract this in my life? This is not me. Why was Buddha crucified and tortured and crucified? And so many initiates, so many great masters went through challenging times. So, why do you attract these things? Sometimes when you attract these things, when we meet our greatest challenges, our greatest fears, the reason you attract this, because you have already gathered enough tools and understanding in your life to confront them. And now these things, you attracted this as an opportunity for you to demonstrate your self-mastery. Not because it was not like a karma, because of that you attracted it. This is an opportunity for you to demonstrate your self-mastery. The only way we face these kind of life challenges, when we have amassed enough tool, or each tool that allow us to move through that challenge with grace and ease. Like how when Jesus was crucified, he said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." He was not angry and frustrated and abusing them and saying them, "You will go to hell." No, right? So he demonstrated that mastery. And that mastery became an inspiration for millions. That led to that planetary awakening, that awakening of the consciousness. And when you overcome that, then you know, that's a proof to you that yes, I have mastered this. True mastery. I'll tell you my example. 97, I go into meditation and I became like a very intense meditator. A lot of belief in meditation, calm, peaceful. And then when I applied those techniques, that manifestation techniques into my business started doing amazingly well, like a magic. And 2 years in meditation, in the last 6 months of those 2 years, I got very much involved in my work. You know how sometimes success begets success, then, you know, when you start making money, then multiple opportunities starts coming in, and you also feel egoic, you know, oh, I can do anything. So, so I got very engrossed in my business. Even meditation time got reduced to just 40 minutes or 1 hour. I would hardly, those 6 months, I hardly met even Patri sir. Because my business really took off and I thought, oh, this is an opportunity, I should not miss it. And you know how the ambition just drives you then. It just sucks you in. At the end of 2 years, there was a custom raid in my office. And before I could realize, they arrested me and they put me in jail. I was given a judicial custody of 14 days, 2 weeks custody. Now, first day of the jail, I was very disturbed. Full of anxiety, full of that, what will my family think about me? What will my friends think about me? What will my other business partners or my business associates think of me? And I was very angry because I knew that legally I had not done anything wrong. I got one policy fixed which only benefited my company, but legally I was right. So I was very angry about it. How can government do like this? And in the jail, in Bombay jail, Arthur Bandar Road jail, there's a big hall where around 300, 400 or maybe around 500 people will come and go. And you're meeting all the criminals and all sorts of people, right? Could be some murderers. You know. So first night I could not even sleep. How can I sleep? And you're sleeping like next to each other, like just attached to each other literally, on the floor. So I'm like, how can I sleep next to them? How can I sleep next to them? I couldn't sleep whole night. Next day my sister came to meet me. Before going to jail, I was reading this book, Ramtha, the White Book. So she gave me that book. I started reading, I opened that book and there was a chapter called The Virtue of Experience. It's a short chapter, 5 to 6 pages. I started reading that chapter and all of a sudden that wisdom or that insight got drawn into me that every experience has its virtue. So don't resist the moment, don't resist any experience. Every experience can teach you something, or it can help you to make stronger. Life events are happening for you and not to you. So, by the end of that chapter, all of a sudden I was very calm and peaceful. And I'm looking everywhere. And I'm realizing, what is this jail? The jail is the mental construct. It's a social conditioning. The people have told jail, the word jail. But actually it's only a mental construct. I am sitting here, nobody is torturing me. So why am I feeling so painful? Why is it bothering me? The house I live in is 1800 square feet. The hall which I am in is 5,000 square feet. So it's even bigger than my house. So how is it a jail? So my perception changed. The moment I changed my perception, my reality changed. All of a sudden I was peaceful, I was calm. Then I realized, 6 months I told Patri sir, I want to teach meditation in jail. So now I have landed myself in jail. So maybe this is a good opportunity to teach meditation to others. And then I started doing that. I met a lot of criminals. I met some pickpocketers who will be in jail for 2 days, some small petty crimes, and then they'll get a bail. After 3 days, they'll again come back. And I asked them, why do you come back? Well, this is like our home. And they have fun in jail. They are laughing, smiling. And I am wondering, I am thinking, yeah, I am spiritual. They are criminal. And they are laughing, smiling. And so I became friendly with them. I used to play chess with them, Ludo with them, play cards with them in the jail. And then I started inquiring about them. I realized that how everybody has their difficult childhood. Every criminal I met invariably had a difficult childhood. And deep down they are so innocent. So it helped me to drop a lot of judgments against any negative traits of people or even criminality. And actually I realized that I learned a lot in jail. In those 14 days I learned a lot. And when I came out of the jail, I came out much more stronger. And today when any time I face any life challenges, and if it bothers me, even for some time or for some hours, I go back to my jail experience and I take inspiration from that experience. Okay, at that moment, if I could be happy, then today to life is much better, far better. So sometimes sometimes you face the dark night of the soul, which can actually give you an opportunity to demonstrate your mastery. Rather than feeling victimized, it can give you an opportunity to demonstrate your mastery. And once you demonstrate that, it's super empowering, it's super liberating. And then when you're teaching, when you're telling others, you're saying it from your conviction, you're saying it from your own experience. Now it's no more just bookish knowledge. You realize that I realized that I had stability beyond my ability to realize it. I never knew that I could never imagine that I'll be so happy in a jail. My family used to come me, will be crying. And I am laughing here. When I came out of my jail, I had so many jokes to tell them, so many stories to tell them. And they were like, साला ये तो मजा करके आए, हम फालतू के यहाँ परेशान हो रहे थे. So when we face this dark night of the dark night of the soul, nothing that you thought will keep you safe will come to your rescue at that moment. At that moment, you are actually stripped naked. Your consciousness is stripped naked. Now you have to see, you have to only face your inner truth now. Now it is the time to demonstrate your inner truth. No power at that moment, it happens so soon that no power, no connections, no contacts, nothing could help me at that time. So again this mirror tells us why we face some of the strongest challenges in our life. It is a great tool, it is a great opportunity to demonstrate your mastery. Now we come to the 7th Asin mirror. Now this mirror reflects back to us our self-perception. How you perceive yourself. The way you perceive yourself, the way you treat yourself, others will treat you. Others will perceive you like that. Others will perceive and treat us and treat you only according to how you perceive and treat yourself. So again, this mirror is about viewing your life without any external reference. Be your own yardstick. The only way you should measure yourself is keeping yourself as a yardstick. So, yeah, let me complete. Yeah, and then I take question. Remember I told you yesterday, I am not what I think. I am not what I think I am. I am not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. Right? Sorry, I am what I think you think I am. So this mirror is about what is yours. If you find love for yourself, you'll find others loving you. Right? When you are content with yourself and when you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare and compete, everyone will respect you. That's what Lao Tzu said. Right? He said, when you accept yourself, the whole world accepts you. So this mirror reflects to you about what is your relationship with yourself. How you see yourself, the same way others will see you. So do not try to change people. They are only messengers telling you who you are. Just revalue yourself, and then they will confirm the change. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we'll take one question. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, I'm Aditi here. I have a question. How is mirroring different from projections, and how do you identify what pattern you are following? Are you projecting or you are mirroring? I am confused with these two.
So your projection is your judgment, right? What you judge, you project. The second mirror, which I've showed you.
Sometimes isn't it like expectations also in projections?
So that is what, as a relationship, that is what we need to draw. But that is what we need to drop. Right? Remember I told you yesterday, all projections, expectations, rejections, separations, judgments I have of you and of me based on you, I drop it totally and completely. Because relationships are not meant to make you happy. It is meant to make you conscious. And then happiness is the byproduct.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, friends, we'll break for lunch. So let's meet at sharp 3:15. We have a lot to cover. So 3:15 we meet, and I'll start with the topic of parenting. I'll take parenting and addiction. Yeah. And in the night we'll do transgenerational healing. After dinner we'll do transgenerational healing. I'll talk about transgenerational healing, and then we'll also do the meditation. Right? And tomorrow we'll cover soul contracts, soul evolutions, life between life regression, all that. Yeah. So friends, we have kept this mirror. So whenever you have time, today, tomorrow, lunch break, tea break, post that, I invite you to stand in front of each mirror whenever you have time, taking a moment to gaze at your reflection and see what it reveals to you. All the 7 mirrors I have reflected, we have put there. Right? So thank you, and see you by 3:15. Thank you.